So when you get to be a business owner, if you get a 2-to-1 benefit, one unit of output gives you 2 units of input, that's where I believe you're a business owner. And the more that you scale, the more you leverage that. And 1 unit of effort becomes 50 or 100 units of input. All right, so Ryan, Freedom Fighter podcast, we talk a lot about the different types of freedom. There's financial freedom, religious freedom, spiritual freedom. And I think the big one that we wanted to dive in deep today was the freedom of time. And so I want to get your thoughts on what the significance of freedom of time is and why that should be a more important pursuit than any of the other freedoms.
Yeah, so I would say about all the tangible freedoms, like in America, obviously religious freedom, the Bill of Rights freedoms, a lot of those are important. But I think when it comes to individual freedoms, freedom of time is the most important. And the reason I think that is, if you have all the money in the world, but you're going to die tomorrow, like, are you happy? And I tell Alyssa, our 18-year-old, this all the time, like, maybe not all the time, but I've said it before, that Warren Buffett, with all the money in the world, would trade places with you in an instant. Like, because she, like, oh, I got to go to work so I can make this money or something. I'm like, don't, like, your time with your friends, you're 18 years old, it's your senior year. Like, those times are more important. The memories that you'll make, you won't remember the paycheck. Like, focus on enjoying life. Like, she's going to go to college next year. And she's going to get a job. There's kids. And, like, all this stuff starts snowballing to the point that you start losing time. And I think, Rob Dyrdek, the guy from, was it Relentless or whatever? Does all kind of stuff on MTV. Skateboarder. He is like, he created the system for his life and like manages stuff down to the minute. So he records that whole show that he does, I think it's Relentless, or whatever it's called. But I think he records in like 2 or 3 days, the whole season. And he's done. And he just batches all his life together. He's got this big thing that he put together. Anyhow, the point of it is, he said after he started doing that, like, you would think being that methodical with your time, you would lose time. He said life has slowed down for him. His kids are aging slower. He's got more time with his wife. He has more time to spend doing the things he enjoys because he manages his time. And that's important to him. Like, I think it should be important to everybody. Like, I cannot stand when people tell me, oh, I just don't have time. Let me see your calendar. You got the same 168 out. Like, use Elon Musk. Like, what's he got? 4 or 5 companies he's running, CEO. He's helping with Doge. Like, he's at UFC fights. Like he's doing all this stuff with the same 168 hours that everybody else is complaining about.
And I heard an example the other day that, when you do the laundry and you find a $20 bill in your pocket, that little bit of excitement, just finding $20. For Elon Musk to have that same amount of excitement, he would have to find 168 million in his pocket.
Yeah.
But that's absolutely true. The 10x is easier than 2x. They talked about the chronos and the pathos time. And chronos is how we were indoctrinated to think of, clock in, work your 8-hour shift, clock out, you have this many hours left in the day, where pathos is about getting more done in a less period of time, which, they talk about the theory of relativity. Are you familiar with Einstein's theories? How
somewhat
general relativity has to do with the speed at which you're traveling. And the faster you're going, the slower time moves. And that's time dilation. They use that example in Interstellar, which is where I became so fascinated with this concept.
I still haven't watched that movie.
Oh yeah, you're gonna watch it today. But
You said that last time.
I know. I have had many conversations with ChatGPT about this, just trying to wrap my head around it. But when they break it down in terms of exactly what you're saying, is when you can velocitize your efforts through leverage, through people, delegation, systems, all these things, you are getting more accomplished in less time, and time slows down because you're moving at a faster speed. And it makes sense with Einstein's theory of relativity, of general relativity, special relativity. But when you can consolidate these tasks into a shorter amount of time, you gain back so much. And it's the same example of like, if you're sitting there staring at watching paint dry, after 3 minutes, you're bored, right? But when you're in a task, like working, 6 hours can go by sometimes. You're like, holy crap, like what just happened? And so I just think it's mind blowing how important that one bit that you just said was, when that time starts to move slower when you learn these things.
Yeah. And you started talking Greek, literally. But the Greeks knew this concept way back when, 2,000 years ago, whenever they, like, that was their words for time. They had different words for different parts of time. Like, they didn't just have time. Right. You know, it takes a lot of time, or what time is it, or anything like they had different words. I think it was 3 of them, but to talk about time. But somewhere along the lines, we lost that concept. And we don't look at time the same. We look at it all on one plane versus like, what time is it physically as far as time, and then as time goes on and moving.
One thing about time, I feel like there's a huge misconception of, and it's not even like a conscious misconception that people will defend. It's just something that we just kind of all think about. When you think about the Greek philosophers or anyone from, historic times, we almost think about them as if they were like the intelligence of a caveman. Like, but they had IQs similar to what we have now. But the only thing that's different about their time period and ours is distractions, is that we have a lot more distractions. And whereas they had a lot more time to be in deep thought, to embrace stillness, and that's where you have all of these crazy philosophies or philosophers thinking about things that we never give two thoughts to if you're not a philosopher yourself. But I mean, just to think that someone with the same IQ that we have spent all their time coming up with these concepts, it's like they had the same number of days. I mean,
and throw a wrinkle in this, I bet they were happier.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. What does that say about the distractions? About binge watching Netflix and, we're going to get sued by Netflix, but
they're not going to get much from me. Won't be worth their lawsuit.
Right. But I think that's absolutely true. They were happier. And I mean, in like you said, everyone has the same seven days, 168 hours. Yeah. The same 168 hours. And if you're sleeping for a third of that, or should be for a third of that, and you're working for the second third, what are you doing in that last slice of the pie?